Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is May 3rd, 2022, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, gold tumbles to 1860, a big retracement for gold. But first, looking at the major economic events of today. So earlier this morning, 6:30 a.m. South African time, out of Australia, we had a Royal Bank of Australia's rate decision. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. So looking at the major markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs still on their lows while the Australian dollar bounces. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones has a roller coaster of a day yesterday, over 600-point range. And NASDAQ on its lows, commodities, gold tumbles while oil steady. In terms of the stocks, they traded with the index and the tech stocks bounced a bit. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin slightly lower. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're at a point of contention. We're at a really major point on some major things here. We're looking at a 4-hour chart of the Euro USD, and we're really on the bottoms here at 105. We're testing that lows again, but less of some activity. So that might just be faltering and just, wavering around these areas. Okay, so that's something to consider. GBP also on its lows here at 125. But when we look at the Aussie dollar, it bounced a little bit this morning. Some positive sentiments out of Australia, so that's giving it some weight on the upside. However, the markets are still trading in tandem, and I really want to see what's going to happen with the FOMC tomorrow. Now, jumping in commodities, gold retracing to 1860. I mean, this is really a big dive yesterday. If we look at a 4-hour chart, you can see a little bit better. And from 1913 down to 1860 over the past day. So that's a major retracement for there. That's over a $50 move. Okay, our real support level is somewhere around this area. Okay, 1852 I would say is more of a support-ish area. So I'm looking for it to see if it bounces. But for now, we have a bona fide sell-off, at least for this short interim. Oil just trading sideways, 104, in between this very tight range between 100 and 104. That's okay. Now looking at the Dow Jones, we're trading right now at 33,027. We're looking at a weekly chart. And the reason I bring up a weekly chart first is because if we look at this, this is where we were at just in February. We were trading just at this area. Okay, and we're looking to see if we're going to break it. Okay, if we do break it, then we could be in the 30,000, 31,000-ish area and fill in that gap. Now, looking at a 4-hour chart, we're bouncing here. Okay, yesterday was a roller coaster. We went from 33,000 down to 32,400-ish level, and then bouncing right back, okay, to 33,000. So there's some resistance from falling further, but at the same time, you could see some of the volume on the downside. It's much larger volume on the downside, so there could be some further selling pressure. I'm going to look at the NASDAQ, 13,000. Okay, that's a major retracement for the NASDAQ, almost 2,000 points, since the beginning of this sell-off. Now, looking at the individual stocks, Apple gained a little bit after looking like it was going to fall apart. Facebook also gained a little bit, a big gap up here from 174 up to 211. Looking at Microsoft, also a big move on the upside from 279 to 284. Amazon also bounced a bit. Okay, so the stocks are looking to see if they're going to continue bouncing or they're going to continue selling off. This kind of situation creates what we call a short squeeze, where people that are short need to actually cover their shorts, and then there's like a little bit of a fake bounce with further selling pressure that comes afterwards. Now, lastly, looking at JP Morgan, this is really important because a major bank is at 120 and not bouncing. Okay, so this is something to consider as if this is going to continue falling down, especially with the FOMC statement later this week. This could add weight on the downside. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin trading at 38,466 on the bottom of its range, retracing. And it's just really in a tight range, okay? If you don't have to trade Bitcoin, don't, okay? Because it's not really trading with so much volatility, and that's where traders make the most amount of money. Okay, so just keep that in mind as that continues to unfold. So lots happening tomorrow. We got a major news event coming out of the United States, FOMC statement, so that is something to look forward to. So we may expect just a lull in the market until that actually continues to trade. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.